everybody here. Let me put this over here like that so that everybody, there we go. All right. So we're going to get started in just a few minutes. Paperwork out. So to get on the call, so that you guys might take several times, so you guys can see we're actually on this call. It may take a couple times to get onto the call, but you want to go on to. Hold on, let me get in here. I'll tell you exactly what you got to dial. All right, so the number you're going to want to call right now to get on to the actual call, which is going to start at 7 p.m., 1900 for all you military. And this call is for all military, all families, all truckers. Okay, so there's 3 different groups of people we're concentrating on. Now, I'm a Marine personally, so I usually, have a tendency of doing a lot of Marine Corps terms and stuff like that. You'll want to call 949-229-4100. And then when you get on there, the code is going to be 977-342-pound. Certain phone providers may have to try it a couple times to get on. Hey, once you're on the phone, say your name and where you're from. Once you're on the phone call, say your name and where you're from, and we're going to get started in 4 minutes. Hope everybody's having a great night tonight. Me personally, I am a Marine Corps veteran. 03, I was 2nd Battalion, 8th Marines. I was with the 24th MU. Okay, the number again, 949. I'll try to type it on here. I'll type it on both before, since we got just a few minutes. The number is going to be 949. I'm typing it on Instagram as I'm saying this, and I'll type it on the Facebook. Facebook should have it on my profile. 4100. And then the code, once you're in, it may take a couple times to get on. It took us a couple times to get on because they were trying to recognize the number, make sure everybody's legit. 977-342, and then the pound sign. All right, let me know you got that. That's the code, everybody. If you go onto my Facebook page, it should already be on there. I'd type it, but I'd mess up my entire setup here. All right, once you get on there, say your name and where you're from, and we're going to get started here in about 3 minutes. And this is for all families in the United States and Canada. This is for all military. Okay, and this is for all of one of the backbones of America. Luckily, there's a lot of vertebrae, which are our truck drivers. Okay, so once you're on, let me know. Say your name, where you're from. And if you want more information, you can actually schedule a time to talk with me personally. Just go to Jeff Jansen.info, and you can actually schedule a time there. I'll call you. Take about 15 minutes. So if you don't get all this tonight, you're more than welcome to call me up. But you have to schedule a time. I'm not going to just take, because like I said, I deal with truck drivers and trust when I say they drive all night long. Military is all over the world, so they talk all night long. So I do have set hours, which is usually in the Midwest. I usually start about 5 o'clock in the morning after I get done with my workouts and everything else. And then I'll take, I schedule all the way up to 11 o'clock at night. Unless I'm doing something like this, okay? All right. We got 2 minutes. 2 minutes, and we're going to get started. We got Don Cheeks on tonight. He's a pretty good cat. He's a good guy. He's a truck driver. He's Army, so we forgive him. Just kidding. If you're Army, you're awesome. Except for Don Cheeks. Cheek. At least I'm not calling him Meeks. Got a buddy of mine in the Marine Corps. His name was Meeks. He was our house mouse, if that tells you anything. Y'all remember the house mouse and everything? All right. We're getting ready to get started here, folks. So as you come on, you can say your name, whatever, but as you come on, I'm going to have everybody muted out so you'll be able to hear me. And then if you stay on, we're going to go for exactly 15 minutes. I will have Don give a story or two. And then I'm going to tell you guys a couple things how it worked in the military. So I'm going to go ahead now, and I'm going to go ahead and start the recording. But we're going to start at 1900.
This call is being recorded.
All right. Don, do you remember the code to push if I went to unmute yourself? Don? I got truck drivers on here too, everybody. So, okay, Don, if you remember the code, you'll have to push the code. But right now, I'm gonna go ahead and get started.
Your participants are now muted.
All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining in tonight. Today is October 20th, 2020. And to give you guys all an idea, tonight's kind of a special night. I kind of forgot all about it being the anniversary where I stood on the yellow footprints over at MCRD San Diego. I'm an 0311. I'm a Marine. And after I got out, I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what I'm going to talk about. And you guys will understand this because there's a lot of people that are like, okay, what's this all about? You guys see me doing a lot of things throughout the day, everywhere from motivational to where I read, to where I'm always doing business, but I can do my business on a computer and everything else, and I learned that there's a lot of people. I also learned that the 22 every day of military take their lives, whether they're veterans or active duty. This isn't about that, though, but it is something that helps with that. So what we do here is I used to be with 2nd Battalion 8th Marines. After I got out of the Marine Corps, I went to college. I graduated from Western Illinois University. I got my MBA. Then I opened up a brick and mortar store, brick and mortar place. And to be honest with you, it was a nightclub. I actually owned several different nightclubs. I closed the first one down and opened up several others. And they're very successful, except when you have different situations going on throughout the United States. It's a very hard profession to keep your doors open in. And it's funny because one of the things I needed to do at all times was I needed to have legal, whether it's frivolous lawsuits, getting liquor license, stuff like that, just everyday stuff. When my daughter was born, it was probably the greatest day of my life. And I decided to shut all the nightclubs and all the bars and everything down, and I concentrated and focused on my daughter. From there, I went into drug and alcohol detox counselor, and I worked over in Iowa, and I worked over in Missouri. If anybody don't know where I'm from Quincy, Illinois, which borders Iowa and Missouri both. So technically, you can just walk across the river or walk across the bridge, and we are in a different state. So after that, I then, a buddy of mine by the name of Rich Ellerman, which became one of my mentors, when I was building one of my clubs, he was one of the people I was doing business with at Lowe's when I was buying all the wood, metal, you can imagine for a 16,000 square foot club with 6 different things inside of it, how much construction we had to do. Rich approached me one day when I was at a Marine Corps League meeting. Tom Geisey happened to be the commandant at that time. And when I was at the Marine Corps League meeting, I was looking for something to do because I got tired of driving over to Missouri and over to Iowa all the time working because I was not in an area when I was working with people I really wanted to work with too much. I think we've all got stories on that. But I was also fighting for my daughter in court. I was fighting my rights to my daughter. I was fighting with stuff that was going on with the nightclub. To give everybody an idea, we had a banker commit suicide when I was in. So, the banks were trying to get all their ducks in a row. And there were just a lot of legal situations. Well, I had a lot of my Marine Corps brothers from when I was actually served in the Marine Corps and then several Army. They were calling me up asking me, who my lawyers were and stuff like that. And I was letting them know who my lawyers were, but my lawyers were just like anything else. They were charging me by the hour and they were expensive. So Rich came up to me one day and I was trying to do a thing for what's called Fishing for Freedom. And a lot of you guys that know me know that I do a thing with Fishing for Freedom. I help out with a lot of different military events that are free for vets and stuff like that. And also we do a lot with kids, elderly, not just veterans, but with kids, people with muscular dystrophy, things with autism, stuff like that. And we're always looking, but I sit on about 16 different boards for that. And luckily for me, I have a job where I'm able to do that. But I wouldn't have this job if it wasn't for one of my Marine Corps, which was Rich Ellerman. Rich Ellerman came up to me one day and said, hey, you got time to sit down and talk with me? He approached me after a Marine Corps League meeting. I'm like, yeah, sure. I was looking to get volunteers for Fishing for Freedom. I happened to be working a lot with Fishing for Freedom around that time. I needed more volunteers. We were, it's a great organization, which is still around today. Me and Rich sat down, and he told me he had this thing he wanted to show me. He pulled it out. He pulled out kind of a book that looked like this. And he goes, hey, this is what's going on. He goes, this is what I do now. He goes, and he started going over it with me. And then I went into my spiel about Fishing for Freedom, which, by the way, we'll take sign-ups probably here starting January, February. And he started going over this stuff, and I was like, huh. So when I got home that night, I really didn't show him any interest in what it was, but I decided to look it up because I was dealing with fighting for my daughter in court. I was dealing with, and I realized that I had several family members give me a business card about what this was about, but nobody sat down with me like Rich did and explained it to me what it was. So what he did was he kind of went over He goes, Jeff, with the military, with the VAs and everything going on, he goes, have you needed a lawyer? I'm like, Rich, I'm in with lawyers right now. He goes, yeah, how much have they costed you? He goes, what if you had the same lawyers and you didn't have to worry about the hourly payment, stuff like that? I'm like, okay, well, give me a quick heads up. And so this is the quick version, and if anybody wants more information, you're more than welcome to call me, get a hold of me, send me an email, give me a text, schedule a meeting, whatever. But he goes, okay, how much would your lawyer charge you? For just, you could call him 5 days a week for any kind of personal legal advice. He's like, no, wait a minute, I want you to add all this together. I want you to figure out in this head, and he goes, tell me what they would say. So basically, you needed a lawyer, and say there's like 10 or 15 things, which is actually my life, and you need a legal advice, okay? He goes, then what if they could send out letters and phone calls for you on your behalf, all right? What if they could review all those contracts and documents and prevent any bad situation from happening? What if they gave you IRS audit service, civil trial defense, meaning they'll give you 60 hours every year for 5 years? And then say after 90 days, even though I'm not married, he goes, what if you want to get married or something? Or what if one of your friends has divorce and annulment, maybe you want to get a name change? He goes, now, what about if you had a button on your phone? You have a daughter, right, Jeff? I'm like, yeah, I got a daughter. He goes, what if you could hit a button on your phone? Like, take, for instance, on Thanksgiving. I had a problem on Thanksgiving where they tried to take my daughter because the times in court were not adjusted correctly. So they tried to come to my house, and which they didn't, because I had a big red button on my phone that I pushed, and it was the name of the law firm, and I pushed it. He goes, now, what if they can handle your traffic tickets, parking tickets, as long as it's not criminal or anything? What if they can do that? What if they do your will for free for you, and every year they're going to update it for you? I'm like, what do I need a will for? I got one from the military. He's like, yeah, but you got a daughter now. He goes, have you updated your will? I'm like, no. He goes, okay. He goes, what do you think that would cost you? And I was like, well, the way my lawyer charges, you're talking a couple $100 an hour. He goes, yeah, but what if you could get it all for less than $1 a day? Say it's just month to month, and you could get it, say, for $24.95. I'm like, okay, I'm listening. He goes, so you get your will done, and say you want your health care power of attorney. All that's included in the package. What if you could get all that for $24? I'm like, okay, I'm interested. So when I went back, I started looking it all up. I'm an information person. I need as much information as I can get on everything, okay? So I went and I looked it all up, and sure enough, the very law firm that I was using was one of the company's referral attorneys. Now, what's nice is they have law firms that represent all 50 states, okay, and they have law firms that represent all areas all areas, provinces, and territories of Canada and the entire United Kingdom. In other words, every state is covered, and you can go to any state, and you're going to be covered. So coast to coast, border to border. What does that mean for somebody like me? Well, it means when I'm traveling, I don't have to worry about constantly trying to find a lawyer if something happens or having a document reviewed from another state. Our law firms can do all of that for us, and I'm only paying less than $1 a day. And then I went and did my will. Now, I've had to redo my will 3 times since I did my will from the Marine Corps. Okay? Why? Because the will is one of the most important things, and I come from Illinois, which is what they refer to as a probate state. All right. Each time I've done this, the lawyer's been nice, courteous. Now, we have the main law firms, but when I have to handle like situations that I was dealing with, then our referral attorneys they go into court, and they fight it out. They battle it out. And we get a 25% preferred member discount if it's a pre-existing situation or a criminal situation. And what's nice is the lawyers that you go and talk to, not only are they on your time, they basically get back to you, which I thought was a pretty good deal. So then I realized there's something that everybody sees me doing, that the company also offers what's called Identity Shield. All right? And one of the things on my social media, on my phones and everything else, is I have my credit score, my social security number, watch, my daughter's numbers, social security numbers, passport, driver's license, medical ID, email addresses, loans, credit cards, bank accounts, the dark web. Basically, everything's being watched, and I put everything in there, so nobody can put anything naked on my page. If my name shows up on the black web right away, we take it off. And all of a sudden, I realized that I have more protection than the people around me. And that's for less than $1 a day also. And I thought it was a pretty good deal, because then I started seeing places like Equifax breaches happen, where there's only 3 credit bureaus. There's 4 if you want to count the ones that credit cards all go to, but there's actually only 3. There's Equifax, I'm having a brain, the 3 credit bar, the big one is Equifax, okay? Experian, and begins with a T. Anyway, you guys know there's 3. I've been doing this a lot. I'm allowed to have a brain too once in a while. But anyway, needless to say, we monitor all 3 of them at all times now. And for families and stuff that want their information monitored 24/7, all the kids' information monitored, you know what's going on the black web, you know what's going on the social media, you know where people are not supposed to be, and you get alerted to this right away. And if something happens, you hit a button on your phone, they will do whatever it takes for as long as it takes to put you back to pre-theft condition. And let's face it, every one of us are getting calls lately on our telephones saying, oh, you want to save on your interest rate, or the Social Security company's after you. The IRS has got a warrant for your arrest, or you are, you've got a warrant for your arrest by the state of such and such. Or how about your car warranties, or you're worried about your home equity and stuff like that. And you're like, wait a minute, how do you guys even know who I am? They don't. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to get enough information out of you to stock it to you, okay? And just today, I had a great business out of Utah try to call me, and I called back, and they're like, who is this? When I called them back, and they're like, oh my God, this has been going on all day. They're taking up, I've got people calling from everywhere, and it's called spoofing. So their phones there have been spoofed. We can help with all that, okay? Unlike everybody else, we actually have private investigators. We have the legal law firms. We have, the people that will go and do whatever it takes to put it back to pre-theft condition. And if it needs to go to law, guess what? We are nothing but legal, which means we can then go into court, we can sue, we can, go after if somebody owes you money, someone's not honoring a warranty, stuff like that. All right? And it's not a get out of jail free card by any means, but it is the same lawyers. The only difference is our law firms have all been vetted. On top of those law firms, we then have referral attorneys that can go in and get the job done along with our main attorneys. All right? Now, if that sounds good to you, great. Now, as far as the truck drivers go, you guys want something a little bit different also. Now, as far as military goes, did you know that we also can help out in the VAs, get in and out of the VAs? We can write up reports and everything else. Maybe you're not getting treated fairly at the VA or something. We can help with that. And I've been helping basically the majority of the people I have are military and their families and truckers. Why? Because truckers, we help with logbook violations, over height, over width, over length, hazmat, medical card, no placement equipment violations, permit violations, no insurance, no motor vehicle carrier, radar detectors, basically anything that happens while you're inside the cab. Now that plan there, while you're on the road and you're in all 50 states, trust me, drivers don't just go to one state. Some people might have local loads where they've got a designated route. But guess what? If you're on the road and you get pulled over, right now we're coming into grain season. In other words, our harvest season right now. What's going on right now? People are going to the bins. They're going to give them the best money for their loads. So they're taking their big trucks, they're taking their dump trucks, they're taking whatever. They're crossing into Illinois, they're crossing into Iowa, they're crossing into Montana, Minnesota, wherever they can go to find the best deal for their grain. And that grain will then go into silos and storage facilities, and then it'll be sent off to places for food consumption, China, stuff like that. But you're on the road delivering it. So what happens if you get a ticket? What happens if somebody comes, you get pulled over and your stickers on your vehicle are not right? Okay? We can help with that. Now, if you go to usatrucker.org, or you go to jeffjansen.info, or you can go to lsmill.com, okay, you can go and you can look this stuff up. You can go to my website, jeffjansen.org, jeffjansen.org, and we'll help you with it. Now, if you get a hold of me on the phone, I can waive costs. I give you a discounted price. I'm going to put you into the military groups. I'm going to put you in the family groups. I'm going to put you in the trucker groups to save you some money. The reason why is because I like to talk to you personally so I can help keep track of everything. One of the things that we do in this company is we are held responsible to make sure people are getting the best deal they can. Why? Because we are only month to month. No contracts, no co-pays. Okay? That's who we are, and that's what we do. Now, what I'd like to do is I'd like to introduce you to a guy named Don Cheeks. He's going to tell you a little bit about his situation, and then from there, I'll open up the questions. Oops. All right. All right, Don, you there? Don? I don't know if he's there or not. He's on a truck right now, so he's actually hauling. Hey, Don, you there? Well, anyway, needless to say, he's an over-the-road truck driver. He's a great guy, really, really nice guy. I've got a couple of hundred truckers that we deal with every day. And he'll probably tell a story on Monday. But like I told everybody, we're going to keep it at 60 minutes. So if anybody has any questions, go ahead and say your name and ask the questions. I am going to, then if you want to schedule a time to actually talk with me, to where I can actually talk to you one-on-one, it's JEFFJANSEN.US. Okay? So if you go right to my Facebook page, it's JEFFJANSEN.US, and that right there will take you to, if you click that into your web browser, it'll put you onto my calendar. Okay? Once you're on my calendar, it'll tell me you'll have to put your phone number in, and then I'll call you when you're asking me to call you during my times of business, during my business hours and everything else. Now, if I'm sleeping, I'm sorry, okay? Or if I'm in church, or if I'm with my daughter, all right? There's a couple times that I will not be picking up. But for the most part, because I'm a Marine, I don't mind the hours and working differently than everybody else. I don't wear a suit and tie, okay? And believe it or not, I usually wear a safety vest or whatever else a lot of places I go, because one of the other things we do is we also protect home-based businesses, small businesses, If you got 10 or less employees, it's around $39. If you got 50 or less employees, it's $89. And if you got 100 or less employees, it's $149 for businesses. Okay. Then we also do employee benefits. We have got broker programs. But the whole point is this: you have a lawyer, you have a law firm, not just a lawyer. You got an entire law firm dedicated to serving you and your family, to making sure that if something happens, you don't have really high legal bills. Okay. And if you already had us and it's something simple, basically it's only the cost of your monthly membership. And if you're not happy with us, just like Sears used to have their that was the Craftsman's, Craftsman tools used to be one of those things where they guaranteed it for life. Okay, that's how we are. We're just like Craftsman. We guarantee it for life. Our CEO, Jeff Bell, a long time ago, he came from Microsoft. He also worked at Chrysler and stuff, and he revolutionized all these different industries. He came over to the legal business and realized that we have not updated our stuff since basically Greek times. You go back to how old the legal system is throughout the entire world, and you realize it hasn't updated. So not only have we updated it, we are a 100% paperless company. Unless somebody like me wants to send something, I have to do that on my own. But we can do everything right on our phones now. The cell phones and the computers and tablets have made it easier for us to be able to do it right and get it done immediately instead of having to wait and wait and wait. We do everything now on our phones. The lawyers will call you directly on your phone, so you can have your phone conversation on the phone. If it gets really technical, then you can actually schedule and go in and talk with the referral attorneys that they get you. If you don't like one of the referral attorneys, there's a conflict of interest, they'll get you a different one. It doesn't cost you any more. All right, everybody, that's my quick spiel for today. Hope you guys got a little bit about it. Now remember, the family plan is less than $1 a day. All right? And what it covers any type. You can call for unlimited questions on unlimited topics, including pre-existing, okay? And you can call that lawyer, and they're guaranteed to call you back within 4 business hours, okay? So basically, personal legal advice covered. Letters made on your behalf. Would it be easier if maybe you didn't get your deposit back for your apartment, or maybe something's wrong with your vehicle? What would a letter or phone call do from an established law firm that's known, that's a very high-powered law firm? How quickly will people listen to that letter compared to you calling in and them just giving you the runaround? Okay, so we actually send out letters and phone calls will be made on your behalf. Okay, contracts and document review any contract or document 15 with any given month. Okay, how many of you guys have reviewed your insurance? Okay, you send that in. Maybe your insurance is too high. Maybe you're getting a new vehicle and they're like me. They try to charge me an extra so much for spare tire, for tire rotation, to check the brake pads, to wash it and detail it. They were going to charge me a couple $100 than what I was going to pay. And they're like, Jeff, can you do your own oil change? Yeah, okay. So they're able to get a couple thousand taken off because they found those little bitty things that I didn't think to look for. I also had them review my insurance. Now, being military, I have USAA, and I love the company to death, and they did a great job, okay? Remember, IRS, we'll give you 50 hours of IRS audit services each year. We'll give you a civil trial defense, meaning 60 years from day one, or 60 hours from day one, up to 5 years. That's 300 hours, okay? So family domesticated, maybe a name change, divorce, adoption, foster care, prenuptial agreement, stuff like that. If you've been with us for 90 days, we'll do those as long as they're uncontested for the cost of the membership, which is less than $1 a day. And then, of course, our emergency access. So 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you've got a lawyer on call in every state taking your calls at a moment's notice, or you have DCF, Department of Family Child Services, which is option number 3 if you push it, and they're going to help you get through whatever the situation is that you're going through. Now, why do I do this? Because I'm a dad. I'm a dad that's got a beautiful daughter. I love my daughter to death. Now, we do a lot of social media stuff and everything else. So I put a lot of my social media stuff up there. I'm glad I've got Identity Shield because they are watching everything that goes on, and they're able to take down stuff that I don't see, or they're able to warn me about stuff if I do not see it. And to me, that means all the difference in the world. And then also, of course, any kind of traffic-related situation, okay, as long as it's not, as long as you're not drinking and driving, or if it's criminal. But if it's like a parking ticket, traffic ticket, speeding ticket, something like that, we're going to go to court and we're going to battle it out because we don't want any points going on your license, all right? And then, of course, the will, which I think is one of the most important things, which I do. Look, we can do your will very, very cost-effective. Even if you just get into this, just do your will and healthcare power of attorney, you call me up, you can do your will right on your phone, believe it or not. Each and every one of you can do your will right on your phone. It takes about 5 minutes. Your wife can do her will on her phone. It's because the people that are covered under this plan are you, your domestic partner, your children, their children. For more details, give me a call. Or go to my page, jeffjansen.info. Okay? So, that's what I got for today. I went a little bit over my time because I was hoping Don would come on here. But if anybody has any questions, you're more than welcome to get a hold of me. If not, have a motivating evening. Remember this, Identity Shield, idguy.org, if you want to go take a look at our Identity Shield products, which is idguy.org. And if you're Spanish speaking, Spanish LS JeffJansen.info or SpanishLS.org are my sites, so you can go look at everything in Spanish. Okay. Now, as far as truckers go, USATrucker.org, okay, or TruckGuy.org you can go to, and then you'll be able to find that. Or you just give me a call, 217-316-0219. Okay. Hope y'all have a great day. Don, is that you?
Yeah, you got it.
All right, hey Don. Okay, right. This is okay. Hey everybody, this is Don, and I'm going to let him tell your story real quick. So we're going to go over a little bit right now, but you know we're military. We're used to showing up early, leaving late. So Don, go ahead and give them a quick rundown of your story and how you used your legal shield, and tell them who you are and what you drive, so that they know that you're a trucker and your prior service. Go ahead.
Okay. I originally joined the military in '98. Got out 13 years later. Back in 2010, I started driving a truck. Started out as a company driver. Went from that to a owner-operator. Actually got a 387 Peterbilt and a Freeliner Cascadia out on the road as we speak. Basically, I met Jeff back early part of the year, and right off the bat, I mean, I basically got into using my services pretty much on a wheel, which I'd never done, and it was so simple that I was like, I couldn't believe it. And shortly after that, I was in the process of possibly having to go through a divorce. Lawyers were there to pick up the phone and answer any questions that I had. Really, I had an accident with the personal vehicle, and it was the person side-swapping me. Basically, I reached out to Jeff because at that one time I had no clue what I was doing, really. I mean, the only thing I could think of was the accident, and everybody was okay. But I ended up reaching out to the lawyer. They were there as soon as I made the first call, basically sending pictures, and the lawyers handled it basically ever since then. And we're in the process of going tomorrow to take care of the rest of everything else that was along with the accident. And pretty much, if y'all got any questions or anything, feel free to reach out to me on Facebook as Donald Cheek or underneath the D&D Transportation out of Adams, Tennessee. I'll turn it back over to you, Jeff.
All right. Now, if you notice, he did say Tennessee. We've got business, and me personally, I've got truckers, military. I think it's because I'm military in every state of the United States, all 50 states. And we're taking on them more and more. And I'm here that you guys can call, and I do answer my phone. I promise you, I will answer my phone. If I don't, I promise I will call you back. Because like right now, I've had about 4 calls on each one of my phones while I was doing this, but this I have to do. But I'm going to call those people back. But just remember this. Go to JeffJansen.info. You can actually find everything at JeffJansen.info, believe it or not. Okay? But if the person that sent you here, the person that wants you to listen, go get back up with them, because guess what? They're great people. Are we perfect? No. Are we the best thing there is right now? Exactly. Just like the military. We're always improving. We're always making it better for each and every one of you. Is it always going to be the way you think? No. But it's like going to the doctor and the doctor saying you got a heart condition or cancer. You can go get a second opinion. It's fine. Okay? But like I said, we're going to give you the best analysis we can. We're going to help you get through your situation. We're going to represent you. Okay, we're going to send out letters, we're going to call you, we're going to make sure you're okay. And that, my friends, is some of the best things you can do. Okay? So get a hold of me, 217-316-0219. We hope you all have a great evening. And the next calls will be on Monday at 1900. And that's for the trucker call. And then we're going to do another military call on Tuesday. Hope you all have a great evening. God bless each and every one of you. For all the truckers out there on the road, don't forget you're the backbone. For all the military out there, you guys are heroes. Truckers are heroes too. I always say, like I said, when I say we're talking about the spine, it's because there's different vertebrae, right? So guess what? There's a lot of vertebrae that make up the spine, to make up the backbone of America, and each one of you guys do it. And one of these days, I'll get to where it goes a lot faster. Anyway, I'll talk with everybody soon. God bless. I hope you all have a great evening. And if you have any questions, go ahead and ask now. I'm open for questions now. I can't see the questions on the Facebook one, though. Hold on. All right. Okay, so if you got questions on Facebook, ask away. I can see them now. If you got questions on Instagram, ask away, or ask on the thing. I got some people sending me private messages, which is just fine. And we'll take questions from there. Okay, I'm getting more private stuff than I am. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and end it now. And like I said, you have options out there. I would like to be one of your options. And the reason why is because I am a Marine. I'm military, just like each and every one of you. I'm a veteran, like so many of you guys. The truckers out there, I know what they go through. I know that they got a lot of time on their hands when they're behind the wheel and on the road and everything, okay? And we're coming into the holiday season and everything else. We got to be careful of accidents and wrecks and stuff like that. Anyway, I'm finished for tonight, and like I said, I'm now open for you guys to go ahead and call me, and I'll talk to everybody shortly.
This call is no longer being recorded.
All right. See you later, everybody. All right.